I never really knew how much masculinity was getting misrepresented to me. I used to think how much you did represented you, how powerful you were. I used to think how much you know could tackle, how much you can mask, how much you can hide, while putting on a stone face was truly what masculinity was. And I'm learning now that all that did for me was take away from what I can truly be. It took away from all that I am, and it took away from all that I could have learned. There've been so many opportunities where I could have exceeded within something, but due to me being who I was, um, back then, like I said, I declined. I I said no. I don't want to. I didn't want to show too much of a spirit that was willing to participate. I was taught that you know men don't express, men don't take part in these activities, and I instantly ducked away from any type of growth, any type of any type of expression. I was taught that that's not what you're meant to do. And I'm saying this now because I've realized that I've misplaced my masculinity. I feel like we're so focused on the external things now that we've forgotten how beautiful it is to have a garden within us. You know, I feel like we've forgotten how lovely it is to have that space inside of you that you can retreat to. So many of us have built up a wall around our hearts that anytime we try to feel, we have to enter this 64-digit passcode that we've forgotten, you know, that we've forgotten. And once we need to feel in those moments that are calling us to feel, we're absent. We're absent with ourselves, and we're absent with a lot of people who may need that from you, you know, with our friends. I saw this video on TikTok. um, it's talking about how male friendships aren't really friendships, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, I have some wonderful friends, some beautiful, amazing friends. Shout out my man, shout out E-Man, Davo, Leonard, and Chris. All my men of God boys, I love y'all. But I love each and every one of y'all. But it was this video where I think the guy had mentioned this. Was it? A girl that he had moved past on, or so he had moved somewhere and it had something to do with this girl. And all his friends were like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't even know you. Da, 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 I didn't even know you moved out of New York." That's not friendship. That's not. If anything, that's just. I mean, that's just having somebody monitor over you, and I feel like that's a common theme within male friendships. Why are some male friendships afraid to unlock that side of fellowship? Afraid to unlock that inner that inner connection. It's not gay to have emotions. I'm not. I mean, even it's not wrong to have emotions. I worded that terribly. That's what some men think it is, though. Think it's gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm not gay, but anyway, that's. But let me get back on topic, bro. Um, um, but it's not wrong to feel. It's not wrong to invest in someone. A lot of men think it's, oh, what's up, bro? Bro, if I'm asking you, how are you doing? I don't just want, I'm good. Then you walk away. No, I'm opening that space. I want to know how you're doing. Or you don't want to know. Yes, I do. That's why I'm asking you. I feel like a lot of the things we do aren't done with intention. I feel like a lot of the things that we do aren't done with the future in mind. It's, oh, hustle today, hustle today, hustle today, hustle today. You know, Gotta stay strong. Gotta. What is that doing for you? Like actually, like outside of pushing these things aside and outside of you know, just avoid being avoidant. What is that doing for you? Just that whole conversation of staying strong. Oh, you got to stay strong. You got to do this. Yes, but that doesn't really apply for everything. Sometimes something requires for you to be vulnerable. Some things require for you to be weak. Some things require for you to just be. You know, like we don't have to be one dimensional all the time, and that's one thing I'm learning. I'm learning how to rest. I'm learning how to love. I'm learning how to be. I'm learning how to forgive certain parts of myself that I really didn't show up for. You know, I'm learning how to take ownership in my own healing. I'm learning how to invest in myself. I'm learning how to stop healing others. I'm learning how to stop pouring from my own cup. I'm learning how to allow God to be God and allow Him to fully develop me and who I'm becoming. It's never too late, and that's one thing I want to mention. It's never too late for you to allow yourself to heal. It's never too late to become somebody. It's never too late. Before I even say it's never too late, you already are somebody. I'm sure, man, that's watching this. It's never too late. It's never too late. Um, it's time to place masculinity where it belongs, not in the external places, not in the places that give you praise, but in the moments that matter most, in the places that matter most. You don't want your kids to grow up and see an emotional, unavailable dad. You don't want that. You don't want to repeat the same thing that you had. So start today. Can I turn the video off?